So thanks you guys for the opportunity to give you a little overview of this project today. This is a science transfer project all about Motus, which is something that probably most people need a little bit of background on to understand why we're kind of invested in this. So if you haven't heard of it before, the Motus Wildlife Tracking System is a global collaborative research network. It uses automated radio telemetry to study the movements of flying animals, so birds, bats, large insects. So these tiny digitally encoded tags are attached to an animal and then are detected by these receiving towers all across the landscape. There are over 800 of these towers in the Americas, and they are currently detecting transmissions from almost 200 different species that are tagged at this point. So the implications for research and monitoring and outreach are pretty huge on this. All the data is housed in a centralized location and it's all accessible to anyone. So a really great source of information. Just as an example of kind of one of the ways that we've used this is shorebirds getting tagged. We know that the beaches here in South Carolina and in the Ace Basin play a really critical role in the migration of red knots, a type of shorebird. Conventional wisdom has suggested that they, after stopping here, go up to the mid-Atlantic before they ultimately land in the Great Lakes and Hudson Bay during their migration. But through this type of tracking, we have come to understand that at least some of these birds are flying directly from the Ace Basin, from coastal South Carolina, all the way to where they're ultimately spending the rest of their time. And so the picture in your bottom left corner, that bird made it directly there in 2 days. And so that helps demonstrate the value of these beaches to the people who are making decisions about them, that type of information. So seeing the value in this type of technology and the need for there to be a collaborative sort of strategic planning in terms of siting these towers to get the best use of this data. In 2018, the Ace Basin Reserve hosted a workshop to begin to build partnerships. And from that, a really great network has blossomed. The reserve is serving as sort of like the de facto network hub and is providing technical assistance and expertise to at least 12 different partners at this point. And this is kind of what it looks like. Building these towers and what the towers look like. And at this point, through some strategic planning, there is pretty much a fence line down the entire South Carolina coast. Those yellow dots with the circles coming out of them, able to detect migratory birds and other things coming along our coast. So pretty big implications for that. So the intent of this science transfer project was really to transfer this model of a reserve serving as a hub, regional network hub, kind of technical assistance provider, expertise holder for other reserves in their areas. So in the short term, the project will build capacity within the reserve system for reserves to be these conveners and experts. And in the longer term, sort of beyond the scope of this project, we seek to expand this Motus network to contribute more to the long-term monitoring and research of these critical species. So the intended audience for this project is sort of threefold. First, the reserves who are partners in this project, San Francisco Bay, Grand Bay, and Hudson River. Secondly, their partners, stakeholders, and those who are going to be involved in their local and regional networks. And then thirdly, the audiences that will benefit from the outreach and education that they provide related to this. So we will be are developing and hosting stakeholder workshops at the 3 reserves. Each workshop is tailored to the specific needs of that reserve and their partners. All 3 of them are kind of in a different place in terms of Motus and how engaged or not they've been so far. So all 3 of the workshops are going to be a little bit different, but will meet the needs of them and their partners. And the ultimate goal, or the ultimate sort of landing place, is a collaborative local or regional network in that area. We will be providing technical assistance to each of the reserve staff so that they are able to build their own towers, maintain them. There's a lot of technical stuff involved in this. Don't ask me how to do it. Fortunately, there are much smarter people on our team that do this for us and are helping the other reserves learn how to do this too. This tower in this picture right here was just sent yesterday. The team is in San Francisco and they just built this tower with the staff at the San Francisco Bay NERR yesterday. So that was really exciting to see that. They're in their workshop probably as we speak right now. And then finally, we have a graphic designer who is designing some interpretive signage, which will be customizable, that each reserve and their partners and anyone associated can use in their area to highlight the important species, their logos, that kind of thing. Additionally, providing a pre-recorded webinar that anyone can use, and developing a lessons learned document to kind of deal with some of those technical issues and challenges that come up when building and hosting these Motus towers. So that is what I have. 2-year project. We started a year behind because of COVID. We really needed that technical assistance to be in person, so delayed for a year so that we felt like we could safely have folks travel and do that. But happy to take any questions through the chat.